This looks like regular bread. And no, it's not a torto. Today in Saladolandia, we're going to make bread made with corn flour, but one that actually looks like real bread. Because if you use only corn flour with nothing else, it turns out dense and dry, and that's not what we want. And the trick is this: you have to mix flours. That way you get the flavor of the corn flour, but with a lighter texture. This is the moment for you to pause the video and calmly write down the ingredients. And here we activate the yeast. Here I have 1 1/4 cups of warm water, 250 milliliters, not hot, not cold, and I add a teaspoon of sugar. You already know it's the food for the yeast. Then a packet of dry yeast, which is 7 grams. And if you wanted to use fresh yeast, about 20 grams. You give it a few stirs and wait for it to dissolve completely. Then you let it rest for about 15 minutes. And now 1 1/2 cups of regular wheat flour and 3/4 cup of corn flour. That is 200 grams of the white one and 100 grams of the yellow one. Wheat flour and corn flour. Balance is key. More corn gives you more flavor, but it also makes it less fluffy. Add a teaspoon of salt and mix all these dry ingredients together until you see a uniform color. Look at the glass with the yeast. See how foamy it's gotten? If you don't have foam, stop here. Don't continue. So push the flour aside a bit, making a well, and that's where you pour in the yeast with all its foam. Then it's time to mix. Use a large bowl, because that way you'll make less of a mess and it'll save you kneading time. Because you're going to mix it really well here, so only the last bit is left. If you miscalculate and this turns out too runny, you can always add a bit more of both flours. But when you have this texture, that comes off easily. And now time to knead. But don't stress, in just 5 minutes you'll have this ready. Put a little bit of flour on a work surface. Any table or countertop will do. Just make sure it's nice and clean. Drop this dough on top and work it with your hands. If you've never done it before, don't be afraid. You just have to press and release so that the strands start forming a little ball. It's that simple. It's explained very simply. There's really no mystery to it. See? Couldn't be easier. At this moment, don't look for a dry dough. Look for one that's a little sticky, just a little. If you don't get it, add a little more flour and keep mixing. The dough is starting to come together and feels slightly sticky. And you only need to work it for about 5 minutes until you notice that it almost doesn't stick anymore. Don't worry, it's always going to stick a little bit, but you should be able to do this. Pass it from hand to hand, and now it's starting to form a ball that pulls away a little. Time for the oil. Stretch the dough a little so that you make a sort of little well, and 2 tablespoons of oil inside. Don't worry, it gets absorbed in just about a minute. And it's going to give it so much flavor, moisture, and the perfect texture of good bread. And now it comes together in about a minute. And now, I've already got it. I'm going to let it rest quietly until it doubles or even triples in size. I do that by letting it rest for about an hour, So I put it in the same container as before. I've now coated it with some oil, and I cover it. It's that easy. Now it's time for a little patience. An hour has passed. Let's take a look. With freshly washed hands, gently work around the edge to deflate it. This is done to loosen it from the container. Like this, gently. And now we shape it however we want. A loaf, or like I do, a kind of square loaf. With the loaf pan, I can make sure it comes out perfect. Look, how easy it is. That's right, gently. You give it a little shape and place it in whatever you want to bake it in. In my case, I'll do it in a container, so I'll transfer it to this one here. I've also greased it a little with oil, so it will be easier to unmold later. That way, the dough stays in there, and I know the shape will turn out perfect. But you can make a loaf, just a regular one, on a sheet of parchment paper. That's right, shape it on the sides so it's even. I know it's tempting, but don't skip the second rise, because that's what gives it the final fluffy touch. Cuts on the surface, gentle ones, very shallow, and some sesame seeds on top. That'll give it the professional touch. I'm going to start preheating the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, about 395 Fahrenheit. But notice that I added something. A glass or oven-safe container filled with water. Why? Well, because as it heats up, it will start to evaporate inside the oven, giving it that little bit of moisture that gives it a professional touch. To the bread. If you notice, I placed a container with a little bit of water inside to give the bread more moisture. 200 degrees Celsius, which is about 395 Fahrenheit, heat from the top and bottom. And in 25 or 30 minutes, it's done. Perfect. Remember to cover it with a bit of paper towel or baking paper as soon as it comes out. And now comes the good part. Look at this. If you use a loaf pan like I do, I always recommend, when it's still warm, to run a small knife around the edge. That way you make sure nothing sticks and it doesn't break. See how easily it comes out this way. Not just bread, super bread. With that perfect texture and that little touch. That I love. From the toasted sesame seeds. Don't tell me you don't want it. Now this is real bread. Toasted like this, sliced. Little slices with a bit of butter, and it disappears before you prepare it. The good thing is that if you make it one day, you won't buy bread again. The bad thing is that at home, they'll make you prepare it every day. So get ready to make it often. Tell me, are you one of those who used to make the whole dough just with corn flour, thinking it was bread? Well, that's the dough for Asturian tortos, not for bread. Pause the video because you're going to repeat this recipe. Dela de Vences.